Alright, here we go again. This is our third example in geometric sequences. Remember, geometric sequences are found by, there's a common ratio, which is you multiply by a common ratio to get from term to term. And we can find it by dividing any of the two terms that are in sequence. So in this case, I'm going to take 27 and negative 9 and divide them. So I end up with negative 3. So that's our common ratio. We're going to find our explicit formula. Okay, now our explicit formula here is a sub n is equal to a1 and then r, which is the common ratio, to the n minus 1 power. So a sub n is equal to a1, which is negative 1. Then we're going to take, and our r is negative 3 to the n minus 1 power. Okay, now sometimes you won't see the 1, you'll see the negative out there, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like this for now for our explicit formula. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and find the ninth term over here. So let's go. A sub 9 is equal to negative 1, and then negative 3 to the 9 minus 1 power. Okay, so we end up with a sub 9 is equal to negative 1 times negative 3 to the 8th power. Now here, be careful with your calculators, because when you take, anytime you have an even power, you'll end up with a positive number. So when we take 8 to the, negative 3 to the 8th power, that's going to be positive number. Now some of the calculators, you'll end up with a negative number if you're not careful on how you place it into the calculator. Okay, but this should be 6,561. Now the number will end up being negative because we have this negative 1 out here. So a sub 9 is going to be equal to negative 6,561. So that's our ninth term. Now if your calculator, again, sometimes it'll multiply by, it'll take 3 to the 8th power and then multiply by negative 1 when you do it this way. So just be careful, knowing that when you take any number to an even power, it's positive. Alright, so now the last thing we need to do in this case is find the recursive formula. Alright, now the recursive formula here is going to be a sub n is equal to r times a to the n minus 1 power, because you got to have the term in front to use the recursive. And of course we have to have the a sub 1. Okay, so I'm going to plug in here. So a sub n is equal to the common ratio, which is negative 3 times a sub n minus 1. And then our common ratio is equal to the first term, which is negative 1. Not our common ratio, sorry. Our first term is negative 1. Our common ratio is negative 3, which we found up here.